What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. It's Monday night. We got about a week roughly left in best ball summer in draft season. So yeah, season starts on Thursday next week. Cowboys, Eagles. It's been good. We're going to try to get in as many streams as we can do basically between now and the start of the season. So we're live tonight. We'll rip a draft. We're going to go over some exposures first, just in Ball Mania. Take a look at the exposures, find some gaps if there are any, see if there are any gaps in the portfolio, and make sure we close them up. I have 117 Ball Manias ripped so far, 33 to go, and then we'll be max entered. Fell behind pace as far as fill rate. So I was following along with fill rate essentially throughout the summer, and then fell behind when casuals come in. We get closer to the season, start rattling off drafts, and here we are. So the tournament, I'm confident will fill. We're at like 84% or something like that. So like I said, about 33 left for me. And let's jump right into that. Let's talk about exposures quickly. We got Lowell Smo in the chat. Appreciate you popping in, man. We'll see if other people pop over from Jeopardy. I'd imagine that's going to wrap up soon. I'm pretty positive Candyman won. Shout out Candyman. Shout out the Fanspeak Network. Shout out to Jeopardy, Bruni, Meg, the whole team, Steve over there. Shout out everybody over there. Shout out Candyman who beat me. You got to beat the best to be the best. And looks like Candyman got the win over there. So congrats over to Candyman. But anyways, let's get back to this. Let's talk about the exposures. So 117 drafts in, like I said, as far as Ball Mania is concerned. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks first. My most drafted, Caleb Williams. I feel great about that personally. I've been very, very high on. He's my most drafted in the big board season as well. Very high on Caleb Williams, very high on the Bears this year, very high on Rome Odunze. I've made no secret out of any of those things. So there you go. He's right up at the top there. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, or yeah, maybe about 2 weeks ago, that I need to catch up on Josh Allen. So he's number 4 right now as far as Ball Mania is concerned. I like that. I've made a concerted effort to get more Josh Allen. That's only 12%, but like I've been saying, and I do say all the time, like it's hard to get a high exposure rate on any quarterback for the most part. Like 25% Caleb Williams is kind of crazy high, but I'm very high on him, and he's typically my QB2 a lot of times with a lot of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, stuff like that. But Baker Mayfield, I've softened on a little bit with the McMillan news, with the Wirfs situation, the Godwin news. It's just an odd stack now to do, Igbukah rising, right? So I have a lot of Mayfield with Igbukah, but since Igbukah has risen, I've kind of softened up on that stack because it's just a little more oddball to get and put together. Plus, I have a ton of it, as you can see. Drake May's up there as well. Same thing as Baker. I'm happy with that. I'll keep adding, as we go. And then Josh Allen's there, obviously, like I said. Fields is there, like that. Happy with that. Kyler, a little more than I'd like on Kyler probably, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. I don't think I'll be drafting too much more Kyler the rest of the season. Joe Burrow, 12%. Happy with that. I'm happy to add on more, stay at about 12%. Prescott, I'm happy to be where I'm at. Lawrence, Penix, Jane Daniels, that's good. Lamar, maybe add a little Lamar, but I do have Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson, so it's tough for me to click Lamar over Josh Allen, but I'm fine with 10%. I'm happy to be there. Is there anyone that I need to add more of? Brock Purdy still is a guy that I need to get more of, but it is lining up a little bit better these days, so I might be able to pick off more Brock Purdy as we go. Like I said, about 33 more drafts, so I can even out these exposures a little bit. Wow, I have 3 drafts of Daniel Jones. That's shocking, to be honest. Definitely don't need to add that, but that's interesting. I didn't know I had that much Daniel Jones in Ball Mania. That's for sure. Interesting. Typically, I don't draft that far down at quarterback. Jalen Hurts would be nice to add. That's about it, really. Like these guys, I'll add if it makes sense for stacking. Stafford is pretty much out for me. Rodgers as well. I'm actually surprised to look at this list and see this much Daniel Jones, Stafford, and Rodgers. I'm pretty surprised to look at this list and see that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, maybe more Stroud, Bo Nix, I don't like the schedule. Patrick Mahomes, I don't like the schedule. And then they're just, I don't know. I'm not sold that they're going to be like top 10 quarterbacks this year. Maybe, probably. Bo Nix, probably. Patrick Mahomes, probably. But like, I just am not sold that they're going to be the guys you need, where the money's at. So I'm not too worried about those guys. There's the quarterbacks. So realistically, who do I need to add? I think I'm good, really. Like Jalen Hurts, probably. But other than that, I think I'm fine. Maybe a little more Lamar Jackson. I like my exposures at quarterback. So let's leave that. Let's go to the tight ends. Kate Otten stacked up a ton of Kate Otten bags. I'm happy with that. Green Beans in the chat. Appreciate you popping in, man. We got Who Hames over here watching Jeopardy, I'm sure. Appreciate you popping in. But yeah, I'm super happy about the Kate Otten bags now after the Godwin news, the Jalen McMillan news. The Kate Otten bags are looking really fancy these days, especially with all the Baker Mayfield I have. Obviously, it's a lot of Kate Otten. It's a lot of Emeka Egbuka, and then a lot, actually, of Jalen McMillan, but it is what it is. I figured Jeopardy ended. I'm pretty sure Candyman won, so shout out Candyman again for that win. Obviously, Loveland's going to be up there with the amount of Caleb I have, so that makes sense. Gesicki, probably a little more than I would like. Jordan Mason, happy with that. Brenton Strange, happy with that. McBride, I'm happy with that. Chig, I'm happy with that. Andrews, I like that. Warren, happy. Juwan Johnson, I don't think I want to add much more, but I'll click him a few more times in my remaining drafts. Tucker Kraft, happy with that. I'm happy to click him as well. Same thing with Kittle. Same thing with Njoku, who I have been adding more lately since the Flacco news. Hawkinson, I like. Again, like tight ends and quarterbacks, the onesie positions, it's kind of difficult to have that high of an exposure to either of these positions, but I just want to focus on if there's any gaps. So Kyle Pitts actually is kind of a gap. I was drafting a lot of Atlanta early, but I've softened a little bit of the Atlanta Rams game, with Stafford having all those issues, but we'll see. I should probably focus on that stack a little bit more, considering how much Drake London I draft, which we'll see in a minute here. Bowers, I'm happy to be basically at the field, so I'm going to try to stay at around 8%. So we'll see if I can bump that up as we go, as we finish up. Jake Ferguson, I'd like to add a little bit more. I love Pickens. I love CeeDee Lamb. I'm happy with Dak. I like the Dallas, situation and offense and stack, but I don't have enough Jake Ferguson, so I need to focus on him. Laporta a little bit. Trying to get more Theo Johnson in my life. I just took this share a couple drafts ago as well, so definitely Theo Johnson's a guy I want to focus on a little bit. Get him up here to the 5% guys. Arroyo, AJ Barner clicked once. All these guys once, sure. Maybe a little more Kelsey if he falls into my lap, kind of a thing. Nothing too crazy as far as focus areas. Gesicki, I definitely need to soften on. Let's take a look at the wide receivers. Rome Odunze, obviously, with as much Caleb as I have. I've made no secret that I'm a massive Rome Odunze bull. 33%, my highest drafted probably player overall. Yep, Rome Odunze. Happy with that. I'll keep clicking him. He's falling, which is wild to me. If he's falling, I'm going to keep clicking him. Kyle Williams, my guy, as everybody knows, right there. Happy with that. Drake London. I said at the start of the summer, I will not be less than 20% Drake London. And here we are. I'm not going to be less than 20% Drake London, period, end of story. And he's a second-round pick. So it's kind of hard to do that, and you're way over the field if you're 20%, and that's where I want to be. So Pop Douglas is catching up with Kyle Williams as well. I'm clicking Pop Douglas right now over Kyle Williams. So it's catching up. It's just a matter of the structure and exposure, so portfolio management. Yoshivas, I'm happy with. I just don't know how he's being clicked so late. The wide receiver 3 and one of the best offenses in the league. I don't know why he's being clicked so late, so I think he's still a massive value. Tyreek, I'm happy with there. It's massive risk reward. I get that, and I'm happy to take the risk. So maybe I'll probably stay where I'm at, about 16 to 18% roughly is probably where I'll stay. I'm going to take that risk. It's not a life or death situation, obviously, with Tyreek, but there's a lot of risk there. I get it. My highest first round exposure is CeeDee Lamb. I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick around this. 14 to 16% roughly is where I'll be, is where I'll finish with CeeDee Lamb. Waddle probably ahead of the field, 15%. Ahead of the field with Ricky Pearsall. I love that, 15%. I'm really happy with that. I'll keep adding. Josh Palmer, I've softened on, and I'm going to continue to stay soft on. I like the exposure, but I think 14 might be a little high. Probably get that down to about 14%, or sorry, 12%, something like that. 10 to 10, 12, 11, something like that percent roughly is where I'll be. Mooney, obviously with the news, the injury news, I've softened on him. Probably leave that there. Probably get it down to about 10%. Garrett Wilson, fine with that. Jalen McMillan, that hurts. That was a very quality click in my opinion. But bad luck. What are you going to do? Like, what do you do? I'm obviously not clicking him and haven't since the news came out. Fantasy Dog, hitting that like button. Appreciate you. So that sucks. It's just bad luck. Hopefully those teams aren't dead. And yeah, he can come back late in the season and have a playoff push for me, but we'll see. It's just bad luck on Jalen McMillan. Nothing you can do there. Cedric Tillman, love it. Happy to click it. Elijah Moore, I took a gamble on. I won't be clicking him again. Might not make this team. But I think someone will pick him up if he doesn't. So we'll see. I think he will be on an NFL roster. So I'm not too worried about it, but I'm not clicking him anymore. I just thought he had a massive opportunity there, and he just didn't really take it, is kind of the way I see it. He just didn't really like knock down the door. He kind of fell on his face a little bit. Mind you, maybe he's doing better in camp than he is in games. I don't know. But I won't be clicking Elijah Moore. This is way ahead of the field, so I'll just leave that where it is and hope it works out. Josh Downs, that's fine. Debo, I'm happy to add on to. Emeka Egbuka, I was at like 16%, but since he's risen, he's fallen down my like percentage, my portfolio. I'd like to get some more clicks for sure, so I'm going to have to force that in. I'm happy to keep clicking him as he rises because I still think there's value there. It's just difficult. I was clicking the shit out of him when he was in the 90s. I should have been clicking him more. Excuse me, and then just stuffing those bags, but here we are. So it is what it is. We'll take it from there. Terry McLaurin, happy to be above the field. And a guy who just signed today, 3-year contract, finally got that done. It was always going to get done. Malik Neighbors, happy with that. Harrison Pickens, I'd like to maybe add, but that's okay. I like the Addison exposure. A little higher than pretty much anybody on Kevontae Turpin, I'd imagine. 9% on Turpin. Happy with that. Besh, haven't clicked in quite a while, but still 9%. I'm up there with Tesla now at 9%. T. Higgins, I'm fine with this. I kind of just want to be at the field. I was ahead of the field and ahead of where I'd like. So I pulled back on my T. Higgins, and here we are. I'm clicking the running backs in that range a hell of a lot more. So I just think it makes more sense. Ray, 10%. Quentin Johnston's going, I got him in the 18th round, 209th overall. So if that's where he's going to go, I'll be taking a lot of Quentin Johnston there. Dammy Brown. Coleman is a guy I've been focusing on adding. I'm clicking Coleman over Khalil Shakir right now, and that's a pretty easy click for me. So I like that, and I'm going to keep adding, get that up to about 12, 13%, something like that. Worthy, that looks good. Where's our gaps? Where are gaps? Golden, maybe. Matthew Golden, couple more clicks. I'd like to get more Jamar Chase, I'll tell you that. It is what it is. I don't think this is a gap on Thomas. JSN, maybe. A little more. 6% Parker Washington. I like that. It's kind of where I want to be when it's all said and done. Pat Bryant and Franklin, I'm kind of just flip-flopping these two. And just kind of trying to stay even with each other. I'm starting to get real excited for the season. Fantasy Dog likes my Turpin exposure. Appreciate that. I'm getting stoked. I just got a lot of drafting to finish. I've got redraft stuff. I got my auction league that I run. I've got best ball to finish. I just got a lot of stuff to finish before the season gets here. So I got time personally. I am excited, but I got time to wait, DJ Moore. I just like Rome Odunze a hell of a lot, kind of more. Puka, maybe. Shakir could maybe get couple more clicks. Mims, probably a quality click right now. Travis Hunter, little light. It's just, I hate where he goes. I just don't agree with his price. I don't. Could I be wrong? Of course. Of course I could be wrong. But I just don't love his price. I really don't. Jacoby Myers asked for a trade today. We'll see how that goes. I don't think they're going to trade him. They maybe should have asked for this trade earlier in the offseason. It's just like a week before the season starts, you barge in there and say you want to be traded. I think that's a little silly, if I'm being honest. But we'll see how that works out for him. So that kind of throws a wrench in him right now. Justin Jefferson, that's a little less than I want to be. I do want to be below the field, but I don't necessarily want to be 2%. So I'd like to get that maybe up to 4 or 5%, something like that. So Jefferson is a click I'm going to have to make as we kind of wind down, at least a few more clicks. AJ Brown, I'm going to be soft on. So I don't know. I'm not going to really focus on him. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Dobbs, I'm trying to click a little bit more. Mike Evans, I should probably be clicking more, but he's rising now with the Godwin news and the McMillan news. So it's kind of tough for me in that range. Thornton, I'd like to click a few more times. Yeah, that's how we're looking. Kramer, I'm 117. Best Ball Mania is in, as you can see on the screen there. 117, 33 more to go. So we're trying to take a look at our exposures at the portfolio and kind of round it out as we finish up the draft season here. Looking at running backs to wrap it up, then we'll get in a draft. We've got DJ Giddens at the top. I'm happy with that. Looks like that was a correct take by me. I'm happy with DJ Giddens, the DJ Giddens exposure. I'm happy with that. Brashard Smith looks like he's kind of locked down a spot. I was worried for a second there that he wasn't going to make this team, hence why he's fallen to only 25%. I had both of these guys over 30, but there's a couple clicks at the back end that I wanted to focus on. Blake Corum, a couple other guys that I wanted to focus on. So I shifted away from these two, and I'm kind of going to get back on that horse, though I don't know if it's necessary. Kramer, yes, I am going to max 33 more. So I kind of have to get my shit together. That's why I'm saying I got time to wait for the season a little bit. I got some drafting to do. So yes, I am going to max. I got 33 more to go. Jordan Mason, I'm happy with that. Braylon Allen, I'm very happy with that. I got him real late. I was real high on him real late. And as he's risen, I've picked off a few shares, but most of this exposure is really late. Ray Davis is still pretty high in my exposure, which is surprising. Happy with the Charbonnet 15%. Happy with the Warren. I've gotten that up. I really focused on Warren, getting his exposure up. So I'm really happy with where he's sitting. Jalen Wright just is going to kill me because I was clicking him a lot early, and then he just never got there. Just never got there through the preseason. Got all the opportunity, just never knocked down the door. And Jalen Wright just maybe isn't good. And that's kind of where we're at. So I haven't clicked him in a long while. He was in the 20s, probably low 20s percentage-wise. And now I'm just out on him completely. It's Ollie Gordon, obviously, right now. And Jalen Wright just might not be good at football. Is kind of where we're at. Rico, I'm happy with that. McCaffrey, I'm happy with that. Another risk reward similar to Tyreek Hill. I'm happy to take that gamble. This could be the number one overall player, period, in the draft season, right? In fantasy football. So if you have that upside, I'm going to get some exposure to it. He looks healthy, seems like he's healthy. He's practicing, everything like that. Looks good in the videos that we're seeing. So I'm happy to take the risk. Trevion Henderson has fallen for me percentage-wise because he's risen in the draft. So I've gotten less clicks lately. So most of my exposure is later in the 50s, stuff like that. He might have been in the 60s, but definitely in the 50s. So I'm happy there. Kenny Walker, happy with that. Breece Hall, happy with that. Scattaboo, happy with that. Bigsby, that looks good. Ford, that's fine. Benson's fine. A little bit too much Jarquez Hunter, but I'm now clicking Blake Corum instead of Jarquez down here. So that's fine. I'm okay with this. It'll finish up at about the 8%, which I'm fine with. Judkins, haven't clicked him since the news came out. He's off my board completely. 10%, that'll get down to what? I don't know, 6 or 7%. So that's fine. Hopefully those teams aren't dead. We'll see what happens. Tajay, 10%. Caleb, 10%. Algier Tootin, Bijan, Hampton, maybe a couple more clicks. Achan, I'm getting up to where I want to be, and I don't know if the slide will continue. We'll see. We'll see there. Jacobs is a guy I'm focusing on right now, so he's a definite like switch off from leverage piece from T. Higgins there sort of thing. So I'm clicking these running backs, and Jacobs is one of them in that range. Taylor's another one in that range where I need to get both those guys up, to be honest with you. Tracy's fine. Pollard, I'd like to click a few more times. Harvey, I've focused on and I've gotten that up a little bit. Gibbs, maybe a few more clicks. Good old Audric Estime, the early click, another guy I thought was going to do more in preseason and just never got there in training camp and preseason. 6%, that'll finish up at like 3. So whatever. I don't think my 3% teams will be dead. They just waived him, and he'll probably be on their practice squad is my guess. So maybe with an injury, he makes the roster. Maybe another team signs him off their practice squad. We'll see. But I'm not banking on Audric Estime this year. That's for sure. Najee's there. That's okay. Emo Cowboys popping in. Appreciate you, man. I'm doing well. The chat just now got studlier. My man, that's right. I said it. Studlier with Emo Cowboy popping in. Yeah, out of baby. Studley Manu. Ashton Genty, 6%. Bucky Irving at 5. Barkley at 5. Pacheco's a guy I want to focus on for sure. A lot of value there. Henry, this isn't a fade. It's just a weird range. Kamara. Chase Brown is a guy I need to focus on. Got some Chris Rodriguez in here. James Cook. Definitely want to focus on him a little bit more. Wow. Definitely the running backs are a lot more gaps. All of these, Brian Robinson, have been in the 140s, 150s since the trade, all 3. So I'm happy to pick that off. Now I like him. Now I think he's going in a range, or when he does go to the range that I would click him, I will click him now that he's on San Francisco and going close to where he should be. 2 clicks of Garendo. I'm clicking Brian Robinson, obviously. No more Garendo. Probably should be clicking a little more Kyron. Probably should be getting more Montgomery, but it is what it is. 1 Justice Hill, 1 Kyle Monagai. Could definitely get more Monagai maybe. So that's how we're looking. There's definitely more gaps with my running backs than there is any other position, in my opinion. Let's jump into a Best Ball Mania. 20-second clock, 33 left. We're in, waiting on 6. Jump in if you want to jump in. If you want to draft with me and steal that precious EV, jump in. Thirsty than I thought with all that water. Should have drank some water and then filled it up and then come in here, but that's all right. Wait on 1. Waiting on 1. I wish I was closer to being maxed right now, but that's okay. We've got Lolsimo in the 1. Draws the influencer 1-1. We got Dr. B. Harris in the 6 spot. Appreciate you. King of QC in the 7 spot. Green Bean in the 9 spot. I'm just packed with all the fellas. If you're in the draft and I didn't call you out, let me know if you want, or you can lurk. Do what you got to do. Dr. B. Harris is in here. I know Lil Simo's in here. Not sure if King of QC is in here. Pretty sure he probably is. Green Bean is in here for sure. If you're in here, let me know. Or lurk. Lurkers. 8 is probably my least favorite spot to draft, if I'm being honest, which is kind of a good thing because I need to round out some exposures. So force me to do something, sort of a thing. Force me to do something different and get a little bit unique, which is, again, kind of a good thing. I definitely need some more of certain players. I saw Jamar Chase go at the 1-3 earlier today. I did a Best Ball Mania draft while I was watching a bit of Jeopardy earlier tonight, and I saw Jamar Chase go at the 3. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Shout out to that guy. Must have been nice. King QC's in here. Appreciate you. That would be nice. That'd be so nice to get Jamar Chase at the 3. But we can't all have nice things. It's one of these two. I am going to click Nico. I've only got 3%, so let's get a little more Nico in our lives if he's there. If not, I'll take McCaffrey. That's fine. Let's take Christian McCaffrey at the 8 spot. Feels good. Get a little bit of value. Feels really good to get McCaffrey, I think. I think it's a really easy start. And again, he could be the 1-1 in all of fantasy football. Especially with like the Ayuk situation, Debo's gone. All the wide receivers are getting hurt left, right, and center. Garendo got hurt. They traded for a backup running back. Like, yeah, let's just run this offense through Christian McCaffrey like they want to do. So I'll take it, you know. Fantasy Dog likes CMC. Bindle's in the house. Appreciate you. Been getting a lot of 1-1s last couple days. About time. Must be nice. Must be nice, man. I haven't gotten a 1-1 in a while. Falling behind on that, if I'm being honest. Let's pull up the old BBO. See who we need here. I don't have Achane with McCaffrey, and I want to bump up my Achane shares. So let's make that happen. That's pretty easy. Got a chase at 1-2 and fumbled it yesterday. How'd you fumble it? Feels good to get chased at the 2. Would feel even better to get him at the 3. Whoever that guy is got him at the 3. Damn. That's the first time I've seen that all draft season, is to get chased at the 3. Like in previous years, that stuff happened. I think this is like the most like locked in 1-1 pick. Sometimes you get him at the 1-2, but never would you get him at the 1-3. Like, it's just not happening. Every other year, I feel like the 1-1, like the consensus 1-1, would fall to the 2-3, maybe even 4 once in a blue moon sort of thing. But this year, no. Sounds like I just got a notification from the Schefter master. Vikings and Panthers are trying to work out a deal for Thielen, but they just can't figure it out. Something tells me they probably will before the season starts, but we'll see. See how that goes. AJ Brown, just not for me personally. What do we do? Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, T. Higgins for Lolsimo. Feels good. Barkley, McConkey. Barkley at 6. Interesting. Nico, AJ Brown. Not for me personally, but doesn't mean that I know what I'm doing. Green Bean goes Neighbors and Bowers. Week 17 stack. Don't hate that. A lot of badges in here, which is wild. There might be some people lurking in the chat because typically right now I'm seeing a lot of badgeless in rooms as the casuals come rolling into town. Both elite quarterbacks go here, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. What do we want to do? Tyreek is still there. Let's gamble on the Dolphins. Let's gamble on the Dolphins. Let's gamble on the Dolphins being this year's Cincinnati Bengals, which is something I said about the Dolphins in the big board season. Minnesota trade. Does that say anything about JJ? No, that says everything about Naylor, Addison being suspended. Nothing about Justin Jefferson. He's one of the best, wide receivers in the game. Second best behind Jamar Chase, probably. That's why I don't hop in stream drafts, typically sharper drafters. Yeah. Took Tyreek 1-1 in my fantasy baby daddy draft. Like he has a baby this year. He knocks someone up this year. Is that what that does? Because that's always a good bet. If that's the case, that's always a good bet. All 8.5 for Devontae Adams, McMillan, and Worthy. All 8.5 in the exposure meter. It's like Worthy. Let's take Worthy. Like, this is just big play after big play after big play. And then McCaffrey obviously is McCaffrey, but could score on one touch, could score on one touch, could score on one touch. You know what I mean? Like, let's maybe lean in on this 1 week ceiling situation. It's not a bad way to draft. I like this by Green Bean. Neighbors, Bowers, Pickens, and Henderson. I like that quite a bit. Nice start. King of QC. Devontae Adams was on my list for sure. Kittle, I like that. Dr. B. Harris brings in Marvin Harrison and James Cook. Cook pairs with Barkley. Big fall for McMillan, really. Interesting. He was on my list there too. He was on my list. Let's see. This is a fun range right around here. A lot of good clicks. I think people don't like this range around here typically, but I don't mind it. I think there's some good clicks in this area. I'm actually going to bring in Igbuka, pull him up a little bit. If you don't take him here, you're not going to get him. Pair him up with my Miami, and I do want to add a little more Igbuka. I'm fine with him rising. If you remember back in the big board days when I put up my rankings, talked about these rookies and their potentials and did my rankings, blah, blah, blah. I had Igbuka as my number one wide receiver over Tet. Not necessarily over Travis Hunter. Just weird, different situation there with Travis Hunter, obviously, as far as like rankings are concerned. But as far as just pure wide receivers, I had Igbuka over Tet. So if Tet's going where he's going, I think, especially with all the positive news and injury luck that we've gotten for Igbuka, like I still think there's some meat on the bone there. I really, really do. Pearsall's a great click as well. But not that I was going to add him here on this team because I probably was not. This is a great time to take Travis Hunter. Let's do it. I have to. If I'm not going to take him here, then I'm never going to get him. You could say Odunze is the click because of the McCaffrey, but I'm okay with that. If I'm not going to take Travis Hunter here, I'm never going to get him. So let's do that. Add some exposure. I need a wide receiver. He's my wide receiver 4. That puts us in a pretty good spot. I like that. Huge value. 9 picks of ADP value. What do you want from me? 7 picks for Hill. 9 picks for Hunter. Definitely unique for me. That's for damn sure. I like this team. This is a fun one so far. Looking back at it, I actually didn't fumble. I just didn't get any ADP value. Chalky, even with Chase at the 1-2. Yeah, you're going to be chalky. You know, even getting 1 pick of value, you're still going to be chalky. Like if you get Chase at the 1-3 and like 2 crazy picks happen between, you know, there, like you might get something real unique with Jamar Chase, but you're not. It's going to pretty much always be chalky, even if you get him at the 2. Which sucks because you hope for something crazy to happen, even with pick 1 of Chase value. Yeah, I get you, but it's just not going to happen very, very often at all. Very like at the 1-3, that guy who got him at the 1-3, you got a shot at maybe something crazy happening and getting a really unique, you know, build or piece, but pretty rare, pretty unlikely. Lowell Samo pulled off the push. Good for him. Good for you, Lowell Samo. I was rooting for you. Burrow with Jamar Chase Higgins pushed him to the 72 spot. Don't hate that. Got the Trey McBride bring back. Double Chicago. Interesting. Don't hate that. I was thinking you'd take Hunter and I'd get Ibuka, but you tricked me. I ended up getting both. And I ended up getting both. So, all right. So, sorry about that. I'll kick you under the table next time. Make sure you know. Oops. All right. Got lucky and got them both. What do we want to do to finish this out? A lot of directions I can go here. Do I want to go running back? Where do I pick next? 89. Do I want to go running back? I don't think I do. I'm going to take, I'm pretty set at running back, obviously. I'm going to bring up Coleman. I'd like to get even more shares of Keon Coleman. This positive buzz he's getting and the quite ambiguous wide receiver room in Buffalo makes me really like Keon Coleman. So I'd like to get up to at least 12% before the start of the season here. And it fits well with my team. It fits really well. So I think we're in good shape. I think we're in pretty good shape here. I probably should have, when I picked Worthy, I probably should have went Tet, because then I ended up with Ibuka here. I'm going to take Baker with Ibuka with our double Miami bring back there. It should have been Tet there instead of Worthy. That was stupid, because then I would have had the week 16 bring back as well. Felt really good about that. That's an unfortunate miss by the kid, but you can't win them all. You can't win all of them. That's unfortunate. It should have been Tet there instead of Worthy. It was kind of my first lean too, but that's all right. And Adams was too, but I just didn't want another old. Like if I've got McCaffrey, I've got Tyreek Hill, and I'm taking pretty big swings on those two. Like, do I really need Devontae Adams? I'd rather a young, like, potential stud, Worthy, McMillan. But it should have been McMillan looking back now, which I probably should have known. That's really stupid drafting on my part. Like going with the Achane and Tyreek, I was pretty positive I'd be looking at Tampa Bay. That's just rookie fucking amateur hour shit. That's annoying. That's frustrating. I really should have been Tet over Worthy, but that's okay. Still like the team. We're still in good shape. I just don't like making little mistakes that are unnecessary when drafting. You know who doesn't make mistakes? Fantasy Dog Pound. What's up, Pat? Appreciate you popping in, man. Appreciate you popping in. You know, we've got best ball overlay and everything here, helping us out. I can see the matchups, and I just say, you know what, Worthy instead of Tet. That's amateur rookie shit, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll recover. We'll land the plane. It's actually completely fine, but I just would have liked that extra correlation there, considering they were both options, and I end up going with the Worthy side. We'll see what the suspension for Rice looks like, but he's like off my board pretty much completely. Has more or less been all season, if I'm being honest, which you guys know if you watch the channel. So, yeah. Wilson brings in Caleb with the double Buffalo, DJ Moore, and Swift. Everybody in the draft room is pushing quarterback except for Losimo over here. Got the push of Joe Burrow. Well done. That's got to feel good. It's got to feel real good. At ADP, Rice is a bad pick. I agree. Like, I don't really know where he would have to fall to for me to want to take him. But it's potentially like right here. Like, really, it's potentially, yeah, right in this range. Like 80s, somewhere in the 80s is probably where he would have to go for me personally to click Rashee Rice. Could I be wrong on that thinking? Of course, but I don't think I am. I don't think I am wrong on that. Let's get a little bit of Drake May in our lives over here. I think he's a great click at this spot. If Colston Loveland were still there, I would maybe go Brock Purdy and then bring in Colston Loveland at the 113, but he's going way too high now, so that doesn't make sense anymore. So let's just bring in Drake May, clear up our quarterback room. I'm probably good here. I'm probably just going to stick with Mayfield and Drake May and just bank on them being enough. 2 picks in the top 105 at quarterback. If Krosky Merritt in the 9th round is what you need, I'm just not going to win. I'm just not going to win. I think the league wanted to give Rice 8 games, but it's most likely going to end up being 6, weeks 5 to 10. I think they wanted to give him more. I've personally been saying for a long time that I think they really need to throw the book at him. It's really fucked up what he did, actually. Like, you really could have killed people, man. That's really fucked up. Especially with the whole, Ruggs thing that happened relatively recently. Like, set a precedent. The other thing is, like, there is no precedent here. People are trying to say there's like a 6-game, 5-game precedent, whatever. Let's draft Burden, pair him up with McCaffrey in week 17. That's fun. Get a little more Burden. But there really is no precedent here for this situation. There's really not. I don't understand that logic and talk track that there's precedent, because there's not. So set a precedent. And I think they wanted to do like 12 games. And they want to battle that down, obviously. Maybe they said the rest of the season. I don't know. We'll see what this arbitrator does. But the arbitrator wasn't very friendly to Deshaun Watson, as far as I recall. Maybe she was. What was her decision on the Deshaun Watson? Because that's the only other case she presided over. 6 games suspension increased to 11 after the NFL appealed. So 6 games increased to 11. I'm pretty confident that since he's appealing, obviously, or not even appealing, he's just forcing the Chiefs, I guess, or forcing it to go to the arbitrator, then I'm assuming that they want to decrease it, obviously, right? So if it went from 6 to 11, maybe it's 12 to 6 is what they want to do, something like that, or 11 to 6 or whatever, 10 to, yeah, maybe 10 to 6, 8 to 6, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But like, I think saying like it's likely what it's going to end up to be, this is the precedent, whatever. I think like going down those paths are a little bit like, I mean, if you're comfortable taking the gamble, if you're comfortable taking the risk, then sure. But I'm just not comfortable saying like, you know, this is what's going to happen. It's likely going to be this. Oh, it should only be this many games. We've already said that a few times this year, and it's bit us in the ass. Quinshon Judkins, but I just don't think there's enough precedent to say like, oh, it's only going to be 5 weeks. It's only going to be these weeks. I just am not comfortable going down that road personally, especially with bye week 10 right in there as well. Like it might be really tough to come back from that when he's going as, you know, pick 62, a 6-round pick. Might be tough to come back from that and, you know, make the playoffs. But, you know, and advance, I guess I should say advance your roster is more what I should be saying. But wow, don't like this position at all. I guess I got to go Tank Bigsby. Don't like this at all, but I'll take Tank. Double click the Jacksonville. Just bank a little bit on that offense, I guess, but a little harsher with the delay since it's hitting more bye weeks rather than weeks 1 through 6. Yeah. I think it's pretty detrimental for trying to advance your rosters. And even if it is 6 games and it's weeks 5 to 10, and then he doesn't play till week, like he plays 1 through 4, 6 games. So weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then sits out 10, obviously the bye week, and then sits out, you know, bye week, week 11, he's back week 12. Like if it's the first 4 weeks he plays and then it's 6 games, he's not back to week 12. Your team might already be dead. Is kind of what I'm worried about. Even if it is only 6 games, that's my concern personally. And like, yes, I could be wrong on that. Yes, it could be silly of me to feel that way, but let's just do Pop Douglas here. Pull him all the way up. If my cue will go. Yep. Okay. Let's do Pop Douglas. And I might be good at wide receiver. We'll see. Definitely not a focus for the rest of this, but either way, let's say he plays weeks 1 through 4, sits out 6 games. He's not back on the field till week 12. Is he going to need a week or two to, you know, acclimatize, get back into it? Maybe the team has kind of moved on. Juju Smith-Schuster is allegedly in the best shape of his life. You know, we've got Worthy. Maybe Brashard Smith, you know, works his way in as a pass catcher a little bit more. Like there's a lot of ifs and buts. Like I'm just not comfortable clicking Rashee Rice at all. I really am not personally, unless he falls to like the 80s, which he's never going to do. So I guess I'll end up with like 0 Rashee Rice, which I'm not really upset about. Yes, 12 games can the arbitrator exceed recommendation? Watson sat the whole year. Watson, I think, was on the commissioner's exemption list, though. He wasn't technically suspended. Could they do that to Rashee Rice? I suppose. Do they deem what he did, you know, similar or just as bad in the court of public appeal? I don't know. But we'll see. The NFL office is a bunch of slut puppies. Should be done for the year. I think they should throw the book at him too. I really do. I've been saying it the whole time. Set a precedent. Like, it's pretty fucked up what he did. It's really fucked up. That video is crazy. The fact that nobody got seriously hurt and nobody died is nuts. And the fact that they fled the scene is fucked up. Like, it's really a horrible situation that they put themselves in. He put himself in. And I just don't think there's any place for that. So you really need to send a message, I feel like. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. And the Chiefs' schedule is tough at the beginning. Yeah. Not great in the playoffs either. Jack Powell's a Chiefs fan, fading Rice as well. There you go. Tough 4 games. That's why the NFL delayed the decision. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about, it's rigged for the Chiefs and this, that, and the other thing. I get all that, but I'm not ready to go down that road realistically. But, I can understand people's sentiment on that. Let's go Javonte. If he's going to fall this far, I'll get a little bit of that Dallas offense. Fits my roster. Makes sense. Huge ADP value, almost 20 picks. I'm only 2%. He should keep he should keep himself on the field with his pass blocking realistically. Like, let's just get a share there. I think it makes a lot of sense for this roster. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So that's where I'm at with Rashee Rice. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. I could be wrong on that. I could be on an island. That's okay. I'm okay living on an island. Tight ends are probably a good click here. Tillman makes a lot of sense. Spears, decent fall would make some sense. Don't know if it's necessary to take more risk. I have 10% Spears. I'm actually going to go Chig instead. It would be strange, no question, but I've already got 2 Jags. Like, I'm okay to buy in on that offense, but I don't think I need to go that far down the road. Tennessee pairs with Worthy and McCaffrey as well, so that's cool. Let's get a Okonkwo there. I'm digging the Chig right now. Digging the Chig. I like this team. I do like the team we're building here. Always like to be done at quarterback by about this range. I think that's honestly going to be the winning strategy, whether obviously I hope I win, highly unlikely that I win. But if I do, I think it'll be a team that has a quarterback room like this, where a guy like Drake May just kind of takes off, or a guy like Caleb Williams, is just like the guy you need sort of thing, top 3 quarterback or something, or even top 5 quarterback and just really outpaces their ADP. Top 3 is aggressive. Top 5 quarterback, maybe like QB5, QB6 even. And they kind of just really outkick their coverage. And that's like 20 picks of ADP value, essentially. Mahomes is QB6 right now. So like basically 20 picks ahead of their current ADPs. I think that's what's going to be the winning strategy this year. I really do. But we'll see. Troy Franklin gets pulled up. Seen a lot of that, like camp news, buzz kind of guys getting pulled up way more than they probably should. Tislaw, there you go. So Tislaw, Franklin, Thornton, guys just getting pulled up more than I personally would. But maybe, again, I'm on an island on that one. Can't believe Brenton Strange is still there. I mean, I just can't click him. I'm going to bring in Cade Otton because it just makes too much sense for my roster. Kind of have to. Let's do Cade Otton. But, man, Brenton Strange, if he's there with my next pick, I'll just take him at 185. I'll just take him there and not look back. But we'll see what happens here. I think Brenton Strange is an absolute smash in this tight end range. I'm taking him way over Otton, over Likely, over Henry, over Okonkwo. Yeah, he's basically at the front end of this tight end tier for me. Taking him over Ertz. Wow. This Lawrence drafter has to take him. There goes Strange. That's crazy. How does this Lawrence drafter not take him? I don't understand that. You take Mason Taylor with Wilson, and that's crazy. That's a massive mistake by this guy, I feel like. But what do I know? Let's bring in Rico, I guess, as my Tampa Bay bring back. Get some value there. Do I think I can be done at running back here? I think I could. I think I can. I need another tight end. So I think I can be done at running back. It's kind of, I can take whatever I want. I could be happy with this wide receiver room. Oddly, even though I didn't pick my first wide receiver till round 3, I could be okay with this wide receiver room. 3 very quality looking rookies. A couple second-year guys, third-year guy, and a vet. I kind of have a free pick here. I feel like I have a free click. And I can kind of do whatever I please. That's interesting. That's fun. Let's see what we do here. I think I've got a free click. Either running back or wide receiver, and one is a tight end. So one's definitely a tight end. I need a third. And then I'm free to do whatever I please, I feel like. 2 running backs, 5 straight wide receivers, a couple quarterbacks. We're looking good. Massive value for Rachaad White. That feels good for Lolsimo over there. Cheetah Bear gets some massive value on Strange. Like, this guy just had to have Chris Rodriguez over Brenton Strange. Okay. If that's what you want to do, if that's how you want to live your life, don't let me tell you what to do. Tight end, and then one of these. Don't think running back makes sense here, that's for sure. I do think that Theo Johnson can make some sense right here. Let's do that. I like that. Let's do Theo Johnson. Then we're done at tight end. Now it's a running back or wide receiver. And I think I'm okay with this running back room. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey and Achane are going to anchor this sucker. Tank Bigsby looks to be 1A, 1B type situation with one of the other two. Javonte, I think, unless he gets, like, let's say Etienne gets traded to the Cowboys, which I don't think the Cowboys are going to do. I know that's the spot, but I just don't think that's what the Cowboys are going to do. I really don't. They didn't do it last year. They didn't do it in the offseason. I really don't think they do it a week before the season. And then Rico is a quality, type of click. I was thinking about taking Harold Fannin, and he went. Okay, that's why I took Johnson. That's fine. So I think what I'm going to do is take a wide receiver, and it's going to be Ray. Let's do Ray McLeod, bring it back with that Tampa Bay situation. I think, yeah, that makes the most sense. Let's do that. With the Mooney news, obviously, Ray is a good click anyways. Puts us at about 10%. And that's the squad. Let's take a look through. We'll take a look through the rest of the teams that are in the chat. We'll talk about those, and then we'll get ourselves out of here. I'm with you. I have no idea what position I need to click here with last pick. Looks like he took a wide receiver. Yoshi Boss, quality click. Can't complain about that, that's for sure. Let's go over our squad, then we'll talk through the other 4. Yeah, the other 4 drafters in the chat. So we got 2583, one of my favorite structures. I'm really trying to focus on two quarterbacks and or 2 tight ends whenever I can. I'm really trying to avoid 3573. Really trying to avoid that structure. Either one, quarterback or tight end, I kind of feel like I must have two at one of those two positions, if not both. If I can do both, great. But Baker Mayfield and Drake May, that feels really good. I'm actually fine with that. I'm fine with going in with that, especially in a best ball structure. I'm fine with that. Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Bigsby, Javonte Williams, and Rico Dowdle. I like that. Again, I'm anchored by the top two, Tank, Bigsby, Javonte. We talked about this running back room a minute ago when we decided to take wide receiver. So I'm good with that. Tyreek, Worthy, Igbuka, Travis Hunter, Keon Coleman, Burden, Pop Douglas, and Ray McLeod. I like it. Some good correlation, some bringbacks. I got week 17 stacks, week 15 stacks, week 16 stacks. Everything looks good there. I'm really high on Pop. I'm really high on Coleman, really high on Igbuka. I like that. I think that can play. Bye weeks look good. Wonderful. Chigakonkwo, Kate Otten, and Theo Johnson. I think that's more than powerful enough. No overlapping bye weeks. Yeah. Stacks and bringbacks type of stuff. I like this team. I think it can definitely play. I like this team a bunch. Let's check out Losimo in the one spot. 2772. I like that build. I like that build as well. Joe Burrow and Caleb. Love it. Love it. Happy with that. Brees Hall, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Skataboo, Ramondre, Rashad White, and Jarquez Hunter. I don't think Jarquez Hunter is necessary on this team. Kind of at all. Like, let's see what else you did here at your wide receiver room. But, like, I really think that this is more than strong enough with that huge value on Rashad White. And massive value on Stevenson. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to take Jarquez here, but let's see what else you did. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Williams, Wandale, and Jalen Noel. No question. Yeah, get rid of Hunter and put in a wide receiver there. I feel like you got double Cincinnati, question marks and injury with Ayuk, question marks with Kyle Williams. I love him, but there's definitely question marks there. And then same thing with Jalen Noel. These could all three be late season guys, but you kind of got to get there, and you've only got 4 guys getting you there. So I would have much preferred another wide receiver over Jarquez, no questions asked, especially getting this kind of value on these other 2 running backs here. Definitely take a wide receiver who's available, like Trey Tucker, even Roman Wilson, Jack Bash, Jalen Lane, sure, Zacchaeus, Turpentine, no doubt. Even my guy Parker Washington, something like that is kind of the direction I would have went personally. But doesn't make me right. Trey McBride, Hunter Henry, that's good. Happy with that. That works. I just would have went another wide receiver instead of Jarquez, personally. But I like the team. I definitely would have taken another wide receiver. I'm not super comfortable with this wide receiver room, personally. Dr. B. Harris, let's take a look. Had a free click, he's saying. Took a wide receiver. Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, and Sam Darnold. I'm happy to take 3 there. It's pretty fringe with Kyler and Herbert. Pretty fringe. So I'm okay with the 3rd. I think you have some staction there as well. So let's talk about that. Barkley, Cook, Walker, ETN, Sampson. I'm good with the 5. Top 3, obviously. And then ETN, yeah, that's good. And then obviously Sampson's fine as well. Big value on ETN. Running backs are kind of falling in this draft. That works. Sampson looks like he's going to get a lot of run. I like those 2 rooms. Lad McConkey, Marvin Harrison, Jerry Jeudy, Reed, Trey Harris, Torrey Horton, Coker, and Yoshivas. Gets a little bit of correlation with the Yoshivas there. Stacked up Kyler and Herbert and Darnold. I like it. Not as much bring back action as I would like. Tyler, Warren, and Jonnu, I like that. Warren's a bring back, Coker's a bring back, Yoshivas is a bring back. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'd prefer a little bit more correlation, but that's all right. As long as you get there and you got the Seattle, Carolina situation going and a little bit of Cincy, Arizona. I don't mind this team. Very similar to how I built a little bit with the 2 running backs. Actually, you got 3 quality running backs. So similar, but a little bit different as well. I like that team. King QC. We got Bo Nix, Purdy, and Stroud. I probably would have been fine with Bo Nix and Purdy. I probably would have been okay with just the two, but I can't blame you. Let's see what else you did. Harvey stacks up. Warren, Brian Robinson. I like that click where you got him too. Tajay got some discount. I like that. Shipley and Woody. Woody pairs with Stroud. Okay, let's talk about it. Nico, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, Romadunze, Juwan Jennings, Hollywood Brown, and Jalen Royals. That's interesting to take those two clicks. Bringbacks for the Denver. Do you have no more Denver pieces, eh? Just Bo Nix and Harvey. Okay. Double bring back KC. Rome brings back with Purdy Kittle. I like that. I'm not sure I like these double Kansas City here. Double bring back with the Denver side. Kittle Gesicki, I'm fine with that. Interesting. It's different. It's different. Juwan Jennings. Indian, Tennessee. I might have scooped you on the Chig. You might have been looking there. Hard to say. Took Spears right after me, I think. So I think I did steal Chig from you, which is unfortunate. Different team. I'm not sure I love it, but I definitely don't hate it. It's quality. Has a good shot to advance with the three quarterbacks. I don't know if I like the Kansas City clicks, but it doesn't make me right. Okay. Let's check out the chat and go to check out Green Bean there. Appreciate the stream. Good content as always. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you popping in. We got hit him with the gritty Mike Bolduke up in here. Have you clicked Brandon Cooks at all? No, I have not. I'm not clicking much of any Saints, man. Like, let's see what I've done here. 5% Kamara, 8% Olave, 9% Juwan Johnson, 1 click on Vele with the Denver side. 3 clicks on Devin Neal. Those must have been real early. Interesting. But no, nothing else. I'm not taking Brandon Cooks at all. At all. I just do not like the Saints whatsoever this year. I really, really don't. I just think there's other clicks down there than old and dusted Brandon Cooks. If I'm taking a wide receiver in the 18th round, it's probably going to be either a rookie, young player, or a guy just like really believe in, like Parker Washington. Other than that, yeah, I'm not taking. I'll be taking a running back or something like that. Only 6 more BBMs for Dr. B. Harris. Nice. I'm down to 32 now, so I'm going to rip a couple more tonight and try to get filled, get max as quick as I can. Because I'm kind of sick of drafting, if I'm being honest. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm kind of like drafted out. I've drafted like, I don't know, almost 800 or right around 800 teams since February. That's fucked up, man. And I still have another like 50. So I'll be like well over 800 fucking drafts. That's nuts. Anyways, I don't even want to think about it. 3672 for Green Bean. Jordan Love, Geno Smith, and Jackson Dart. I like that. That's kind of necessary. I like that. That'll work. Trevion Henderson, Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Benson, Taj Brooks, Monagai. I like that room. I like that room a lot. That works for me. Neighbors, Pickens, Golden, Pittman, Bateman. A lot of mins. Pat Bryant and Alec Iomanor. I like that. Love Geno and Dart. Bowers, the Giants. Love. Nice. Yeah, I like this team. This is a fun one. Good job, Green Bean. This is a nice looking team. I dig it. Powerful tight end room. Brock Bowers is probably going to show up in your flex spot a good amount, to be honest with you, with Kraft in there as well. So Yeah, I like this team. I like this team a good chunk. I like it. Well done. Well done. Yeesh, I'll be at 300 when it's all said and done. I thought that was a lot. Yeah, I know. It's sick. It's a sickness. It's sickening. That's a little aggressive, honestly. Like, yeah, since February, mind you, like 257 in the big board season. I maxed everything except for I missed one War Room entry right when the last day I meant to get it in and I just forgot, and then it filled and I missed it. So that really, really pisses me off. I missed one War Room entry. Otherwise, I maxed everything in the big board. I do feel like I have an edge in the big board season. So we'll see how that works out this year. And then, yeah, I'm at 400 and whatever, 408 or something like that in just regular best ball. And then there's sprints, there's weekly winners, there's eliminators, there's all these other rookies and sophomores, all this other stuff. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. A little aggressive. Got a lot of correlations with the playoffs with different matchups. Yeah, you did. I like that team, man. It's a good squad for you. Hopefully you and I advance and one of us win this whole fucking thing. Let's go. Only did 7 big boards. There you go. Yeah, I did 250 more. 250 more in the big board season. Mind you, I maxed all the tournaments. So there you go. 250 more drafts I did in the big board season. All dead, I think. No, I'm sure you'll do all right. I'm sure you'll do all right. Different strategy, but I think I have an edge in the big board season. So I had 2 big board teams in the final last year and should have had 4 actually. But CD Lamb got hurt in week whatever it was, 16. Yeah, got hurt week 16 at half, didn't come out in the second half. So that hurt me. But either way, we're back tomorrow night. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get in as many as I can for you guys. I was away for a while with the leg thing. We're back now. So I'm going to try to finish strong, get as many drafts as I can in, get as many streams in as I can before we're done, because I don't make content after basically a week from now. I'm not making any more content until the big board season. So that's always been my schedule. That's always been how I do. So hopefully I don't lose a ton of subscribers or anything over the winter, but I'm just too busy in my real life to do content. It's just not really possible. So I only have about a week left of streaming. So I'm going to try to get in as many as I can for you guys and get as many drafts streamed or get as many drafts in, but I have to max these tournaments. So 2 finals teams, impressive. Yeah, appreciate that. That's hopefully where my edge is. Have a good one. You rock. Appreciate you guys. We're going to get out of here. Hopefully we advance tonight. I like the team. Talked about exposures. I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll rip another Best Ball Mania most likely. Maybe a Rottweiler, because I'd like to max that as well. That's only a 4 max, so I'm probably going to get that maxed out. But either way, like we always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We win Best Ball Mania and $2 million. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have yourselves